Easy now. No need.
So it wasn't a dream after all. An animal's sty? Freight or food?
Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep...
Fresh meat. Nice. Plump. Banded like a chicken's leg too. That may be so, but look at the flies. Ban wisdom.
With 2 shakes of her stomach... Did you expect a needle?
Hey! Get me out of this cage and your guess is as good as mine. Someone screamed loud as a bang. Set me free, and I'll set you free. Suit yourself.
Empty.
why you're... There you are.
In the meantime, you'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officer's quarters.
Dungeon? You have the gall.
Index fi-
My word. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good girl, perhaps a cure as why for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you... Oh, do go on. My, aren't we a meek little lad? So let's just leave it on, shall we? Because to answer your question, what this collar does is this. It makes you unable to cast Source.
No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time with the others.
For your own peace of mind.
A young magister stands pale and silent.
Spick and span. Good.
Behind the magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles.
Easy now. You're paling me arse. Why don't you move along? Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did. It's a small ship. His name was Finn. Oddball. Looked to me like he saw something he wished. We'll find out who did it.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened. Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to... We'll find out who did...
She looks up at you with a
I was on duty in your... You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. Not with that collar on you. Listen, I can bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Think about it. Who's your real enemy? You let me know if you... No marks, no indications of trouble.
I forgot how to sing. I did.
I'm not suited for this. Haven't got any shoes, have you?
You're a human, like me. That means we're friends already. My mum told me not to make friends with lizards and elves and dwarves and stuff.
Wow! You look cool. I like your hair. I like your eyes. I like your colour. I have one too.
Do you know Losa? She's a really good singer. I'm better though. Listen.
Ah, there you are. Wife, would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not at all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical. How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with anyone else. What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she...
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark...
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? Like yourself, maybe. I don't mind the kiddies, usually. Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it. You take care, though. Nope, trying not to...
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and as quickly as they came, the cloud...
Good luck, Chief.
to them.
What's your name? I'll give you that knuckle and keep carrying on. Gods, didn't your mother
One of
teach
us
you any
wouldn't kill
manners?
our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Well, well. The lizard looks you up and down. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
I'm inspecting your teeth, in case that wasn't spectacular. There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't expect to find prime merchandise on a squat. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook? Ah, music to my beleaguered stomach. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, but to feel the caress of satin on my scarlet skin once more. A most satisfactory answer indeed. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of the very basics, then? So, 3 questions asked, as per your own testimony, you can cook, tailor, and groom. Well, I offer you my sincerest... Of course you accept. Anyway, you may leave me for a moment.
Picking us off one by one.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on... He raises an eyebrow as...
Listen up, Ghetto. You hear that?
He turns his head toward you.
You look like a Ghetto. Listen, if you're interested. Or get gone if you aren't. The ship, of course.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates. The groaning of wood from floor to ceiling.
And? Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't do away with the... A common sort of sound, isn't it? Where there's talk, there's health. That's all you hear, though. Listen close. There now, just like that.
Squeak!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression.
There, you heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good. It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise. Burn my beard. That means if we'd been travelling for... Yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
That right? I always knew you'd turn
Yeah, no indeed, Ghetto. But...
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard. Gold...
That'll be all. Thank ye kindly, Ghetto.
He continues stroking...
You got this. You one of them? A divine order loyal? Think.
Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with it.
Keep those boats trained on us, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
You seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
The most foul.
Jill, is that right? I've a few questions for you. You are Jill, aren't you?
I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer. Go take your sob story somewhere else.
Bloody dwarves. I'll come back. You better be ready to talk here.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing...
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this tramp Ifan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander, many...
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws... Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword, and now he's Johnny Big Pants.
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties. No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. The Joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on. One of us will kill our own.
Easy now. I might think the same, but Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking.
What are you conspiring about over there?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet.
Name.
Insufferable, surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
Magister Victor looks at you.
Away with you.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall.
And if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like...
She shakes her head.
Game for one. I'm rolling dice, deciding fates.
One of us.
Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile.
Never say never, though.
Reassure you and you shut up.
You think me mad?
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the past. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before.
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat grooming.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers. As everyone lay sleeping, you lay awake thinking of someone back home. You were reminiscing about the things you used to do together. Of course it is. The truth's right there. But don't you worry, darling. Your secret's safe. I don't lick and tell.
You! Sorcerer! Blood? No! Go!
Name? The Divine Order wants. Well, you aren't here on my list.
It was one of them. I know it.
Would you put a
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up. He reaches out and takes your hand, turning it this way and that, examining it from... Fast. He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly.
It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of your... Oh, please. No. I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind? Of course you don't have any useful information. Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
No amount of pestering.
Here's the register, ma'am. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far? Glad to hear it. You head on in now. Williams will get you short.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of the ship.
Murder most foul. And I strongly suspect you know all about it.
Do you? Well, perhaps you're absolutely right.
trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
You seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
Murder most foul. I strongly suspect you know all about it.
Do you? Well, perhaps you're absolutely right.
You've got this wolf on a leash now. Never thought you'd end up a prison convict.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sword.
So you admit it?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the...
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened?